Hello there people, you're here with Dan in Essex UK, and the main purpose of my channel is to show people how to grow their own fruit and vegetables no matter what size garden, allotment or growing space they do indeed have. So today I'm going to be discussing a very interesting subject, and that is one of investment. So things are different at the moment. We won't go into it too much, but the world is a very different place to how it was 6 months ago, and people are reassessing their priorities. They're thinking about what they should be doing or what they shouldn't be doing, and looking at ways to go forward, sideways or whatever. So investment is always a big thing. So one can invest in something like education, qualifications, invest in learning a new instrument. One can invest in some tools to start a new business or property or whatever. And these are very, very big and complicated subjects to talk about. Now, with regards to gardening, one can invest in their own garden, and I think this is a fantastic investment to make. Now, go back a few months with all the panic buying and all that sort of stuff that was going on. Just think how terrified people were, and think about what could have potentially happened. Now, would that have been quite as bad or as terrifying if people had their own little collection of potatoes or things like that in their polytunnel or in their garden that they could get to if things really, really did get bad? So if people think about how the world was, some of you will remember this many, many years ago, where a lot of the food that people ate did indeed come out of their own garden or their neighbour's garden. There was like a bartering system going on. People used to share, maybe someone had too many carrots, another one had too much broccoli, so you'd meet in the middle and share. A very, very nice idea indeed. So with regards to gardening and what to invest in, so what do? You can invest in the quality of your compost to create better quality plants. You can invest in more knowledge to grow different and better things and to improve the quality and yields of what you do indeed grow. You can learn about microclimates, such as growing things in a polytunnel like this in order to extend your growing season, or grow things that wouldn't otherwise not do particularly well in the UK, such as things like melons down here. So there really is so much that you can invest in. Now, another thing in these regards, more and more people I'm noticing are getting interested in gardening, which I think is an absolutely fantastic thing. And I was talking to people years ago about the importance of gardening, allotmenteering, growing your own food, whatever, and people used to look at me and go, cool, that's why, as a relatively young man, because I was in my 20s at the time, people would say, why are you into that? That's for old people. And I'd say, no, it's not. So if you have a child, a niece, nephew, friend's child, or younger person, or indeed whoever, who wants to learn how to grow fruit and vegetables, and a little bit, pass your knowledge on to them, because I don't think in recent times there's been a more important time to get into growing fruit and vegetables since the Second World War. And one thing that we do know is, yes, okay, property prices, the job market, how we're going to press on as a society, certain things that were taken for granted. For example, if you got a job as a school teacher or whatever, you would have a job for life. Certain things are not guaranteed anymore. If you became a plumber, you'd always have work, or an electrician, carpenter, carpet fitter. You'd always be able to go into someone's house and find some work somewhere, wouldn't you? Well, of course, everything now has been completely thrown up into the air, and the world is a very different place. But one thing we do know is, or indeed a different sort of profession, property purchase law or whatever, the whole system is very, very different, or could be very, very different. But what we do know is that we will all need food, we will all need nourishment, sustenance, and no matter what differentiates us as people, whether we are an academic person, a practical person, both, whether we are in the what one could refer to as the upper echelon of society, the middle, the low, whatever, if there is such thing anymore. You know what I'm getting at. I think we all need food, we all need it. So I think gardening is an absolutely massively important thing that we can all invest in to a degree. Now, of course, it will be different depending on what situation you are in. Now, some of you will be watching this who live in an apartment or a flat or whatever. Now, this, of course, it presents issues with regards to food growing in the terms of space. But I think, if you've got some window sills there, you can get some window boxes going on, you can get growing things on the windowsills in your bathroom. Now, be interesting to talk to sort of flat dwellers, apartments, studio apartments, people that rent rooms, you know. Let me know if you grow things in these situations. Now, I see people on Instagram and they're growing their own food, a lot of it, in their apartment or whatever, and I find that so inspiring and just such an amazing thing, and it just goes to show what people can do if they really want to. So yeah, basically the message of this video is to encourage people to get into this really great thing. Now, if none of this is applicable to you or whatever, and there's another form of investing in gardening and food growing. Now, today when I was out and about, I went in a shop for an entirely different reason, and in there I saw some locally produced strawberries and I bought some. Now, the reason I did this was to support a local business. Of course, I don't need them at the moment because many of you are aware of the absolutely beautiful strawberries that I've got growing on down here, but that's not the point. The point was to support these people that are growing these, and I will do the same with the apple season when that comes, and early next year with the asparagus. You know, it's so important to support locally produced food, locally produced fruit and vegetables. And any comments, questions or whatever you've got on this video, please feel free to post below, and I will see you next time. Thanks for viewing. Dan_Home Gardens on Instagram.